Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It's February 1st and it's an excellent time for a garden tour. So let's take a look, see how things are going. Well, we'll start up here by the entrance, and we've got everything uncovered for, we'll cover up some of it today, the rest tomorrow, because there's still some cold temperatures coming, 20 degrees, which really do some damage. But we'll take a look here. We've got our onions on this first row. As you can see, a lot of these are smaller, even though they were planted the same time as these on this side of this row. The reason was this row has been covered in all the inclement weather, so it stays a lot warmer, and you can tell the difference. We've lost some onions in that first row, and we're going to have to come back and readdress that. Right here we have some new collards we'd taken out. You can see in the aisle there where we'd taken out them, and we planted some. We'll cover these up. They should do fine. This row of onions here was also uncovered, but we've been keeping it covered now, same as that first one. Our spinach, it's growing. It's not super fast, but it seems to still be in pretty good shape. Radishes are starting to put on. We just planted these 2 rows of with onion sets. Like I say, I don't normally plant bulbs. Now this bag did get wet, so you can see a lot of these were, we'd taken out the ones that were starting to grow, so we make sure we'd use them right away. We've actually planted this row a little bit thicker. We're going to see how it does compared to that one, where they're just a little bit further apart. Now these were some that we had put in the ground, I don't know, a week or so back, and they, as you can see, they're coming on great. They've sprouted up. We should have some green onions pretty quick out of these ones. And some more onions on this row. It just looks like this is an onion farm here lately, but a lot of these will come off as green onions. And our leek, it's starting to look a little bit better. You know, it got hit hard the 1st of January on the freeze, but it seems to be starting to come back. We still lack harvesting what few black nebula carrots might be here. We did harvest the other row. Over here in this greenhouse, part of the lettuce in the middle is it's still looking okay, but we've got some new trays of lettuce that are ready to set out, so we're going to probably replace a lot of this. And our herbs, our thymes, like in this cold weather, we did cover these up so our chives and stuff could start going. Now this oregano is coming out. We've got some new true oregano that's going to go in. We're hoping that our little plant here keeps going. It's just looking mighty poor. It's got a little bit of green on it. These onions were planted the same as those others, and like I say, they're looking excellent too. That's quite a bit of onions in that row. We'll take a little trip here in the greenhouse. Okay, everything's looking great in here, even though it's outside. It's in the 50s. In here it's about 78, so it's really looking good. So we got parsley up here. Our carrots are still a little bit behind, and we've got to do some weeding in here. Now I've got all my propagations. We're going to start, we're going to put row cover, keep it on here, make sure this stuff goes. I've got some of my figs that are leafing out. They still don't have strong roots yet that's come to the side, so that's going to be a little bit. Our chard is coming back. It wasn't covered when we got real cold, and it's frozen back, and it looks like it's going to have some attention too. Maybe a little bit of spraying on it to get it in good shape. Looks like our bok choy is doing good. Won't be long. These heads will be ready to pick. The carrots over here are doing pretty good. They've still got to thin at this end. I was out here this morning thinning a few. The beets in here, especially the red beets, aren't doing too good. So this trial, these won't go in here again. Now our potatoes that we did for a real late potatoes, they're coming on, and hopefully they've got about a month and a half left till we'll start putting in tomatoes. So we might dig a few of them just to get room so they're not in the way of the tomatoes and have to dig them then, but they're looking pretty good. These onions in here that we planted where we've got our garlic that'll be coming up in the spring, they're doing good. Of course, it won't take them about, at this rate, about 4 weeks, and they'll have to be dug up. Same way as the ones, we've got our garlic here, but our others that's down there. And yeah, we've been covering this garlic now. You can see how much damage it's got from previous freezes, so we're going to help it out, keep it a little bit warmer. Our lacinato kale, as you can see, we've got just a few in this row. The rest of them got burnt too bad. The broccoli isn't looking too pretty at all. I've got some more that's planted that will come in and replace that. These turnips, they're not liking the weather either. Doesn't look like it's going to be any that's going to end up to the market. So, but we have been eating a few. And strawberries, now we've started covering these last two rows, and you can see since we've started covering them now, we're getting strawberries on these. So it should have a good crop once it actually warms up, because it's still been pretty cold. But we've got to go in here and replace a few of them. But they're all doing good, and we've been harvesting a few. We'll probably harvest just a few more today. We're trying to let them get good and ripe. Some get a little bit overripe because of covering it up. But anyway, they're doing good. Our cabbage are doing good. We'll probably pick one or two for the market this week. And we did treat these with some BT earlier in the week before we covered them up when it was warmer. And it seems to have taken care of all of that. These broccoli here, it's the same way. Now it seems like these few that's at this end have done a little bit better. It might be because they get sun a little bit earlier in the morning. They're still trying to make heads. And down here with our blueberries, now it froze back. And some of these, I don't know, this blueberry here just is, this one I think is actually, well, there's some green right there. So it might go ahead and come back. But it froze all the blooms back, but some of these are budding again. But like I say, it's fixing to be, in a couple of days, it's going to be down in the low 20s or down to 20. So this variety is a little bit later. It's a mid-season, and it looks like its buds are just starting. So hopefully it's not bad enough for it to have a problem and not have any blueberries, because then we'll be like last year. But some of these are trying to come back and set their blooms again. So we'll see how that does. But anyway, that's where we're sitting. Things are going. We've got a lot of transplants that's needing put out. We've got our tomatoes and And peppers, eggplant, we've got all those seeds started. So here in a couple of weeks, we ought to be ready to prick them out, put them in pots. But if you want to see more of my videos, well, of course, just subscribe, hit the bell button so you'll be notified. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and share it. It really helps my channel. Happy gardening.